As possible. Daniel Berry, first in. What's going on? Hope you had a good New Year's. Um, so this is one of the Q and A's. So just to kind of tell you all, what these are about. For those who come in all the time or follow me closely, you guys know what these Q and A's are. But for everyone else, these are a chance for anyone new to angling or with any type of questions. Judgment-free questions, no silly questions. They can ask anything they want about fishing. And as a community, we're going to help them out. We're going to try to help them out, give them answers, save people from the mistakes that we've made. A lot of us in here have years of experience and have grown up fishing, have family members fishing, but that's not the case for everybody. So we're here to kind of help out, with that. I'm in my basement. The basement's set up that I've got a lot of fishing gear around, so I can usually find something to help explain what I'm mumbling about. But hey, Justin, welcome in, buddy. Awesome member right there. Just hit 1,000. Congrats on that, buddy. Good job. So it's New Year's. Everyone's got their resolutions. I'm not a big resolution person. One is fitness. I want to get my fitness back. I've had a few health setbacks this year, nothing major, but I'm at that age where I just start falling apart and every little injury takes forever. Lover Toy Pops, welcome, welcome, Happy New Year. So obviously health's always number one, family, trying to, last year was an awesome year for our family. We got along better with the kids. Everybody was able to get together better. Because we're not all the same type personalities. Black Wolf Outdoors, congrats. I saw you were live, I think, for like the first time last night. Alberto, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Alberto, that's a new name in here, but I do know an Alberto. I wonder if that's the Alberto I know from Pennsylvania. Tim is back in, awesome member right there. Mrs. Skeeter, and you guys are flying already. Slab, what's going on? As far as the channel, I really have two big resolutions. First off, nothing's changing. The 10 to 2 is our bread and butter. I think it's really important. Pin my comment. Where are you? Smash the like button. Let's see. I was going to pin all the hearts. Here. This one? I like this one better. I don't like asking for that stuff, but I appreciate it. We'll replace it. Oh my gosh, you guys are flying. Let me get caught up. Bill Reddick, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. Smash the like button now. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So yeah, two big resolutions for the channel. I got a new part-time job, which I actually really love. Follow you on Fishbrain. Okay. I'm going to wrench you up. I don't know if you're on YouTube much, Alberto. Let me give you a wrench. That way you can connect around everybody. If you are on YouTube and have like your own channel and content, leave me a comment on a video. That way it's easy for me to go back and I'll support you. I haven't really been on Fishbrain that much lately because, my ribs are killing me. Sorry. I should not have done that. I broke my ribs last night. Fishbrain's a pain in the butt with their new updates. It's driving me up a wall. It's really, really annoying. That being said, I will try to get on Fishbrain more. Right now, YouTube's my primary focus as far as social media. Doing it full time. Bud Files in the house. Happy New Year, Sue. So yeah, the 10 to 2s are still going to be our bread and butter for next year. That's our community reach out is how I kind of think of it. As an angler, 10 to 2 in the middle of the day is not always the best time to fish. It's not bad in winter, but it's something that's like consistent. We're going to be out there. You know where we are. You can clock in, hang out, chill with us, ask questions. That's why we try to be as consistent as possible. It's not all about the fishing. We're doing more than fishing out there. I want to work harder at the mental health stuff and find out better ways to put that on the channel and deal with that because that is something that's close to me. And I always feel weird talking about it a lot in public. But it is something that's very close to me. And I mean, honestly, Steve and the folks who come on my channel and speak out about it, Brad, they do a better job than I do. But it's important to me, and that's why I try to keep this as a place for that. June T, hang on. Got to show you something, June T. I've been watching some June T videos. Oh, what do you think? What do you think, buddy? Let me know. How do you think that'll work? I've been watching June T a whole lot lately. So this one I've got a couple streams near me that I know are just thawed out, and I'm going to throw those maybe tomorrow. See if I can get on some trout. It's going to be windy as heck, so I'm going to look for places to hide from the wind. Jeff Beal, OCD is kicking in. Can you straighten up that picture on the back wall? No. Luke Baker is in the house. Dinner just got here having pizza tonight. Awesome, Black Wolf. You enjoy that? Good to see you, Luke Baker. Happy 2025. Yeah, I don't pay for Fishbrain, but I'm hardly on it. It kind of drives me nuts. Yeah, that is a floating jerk bait. I don't know if it's called jerk bait. I don't know if that's considered a jerk bait or not. But it does float. Checked it in my aquarium. I'm definitely going to throw that around. I also have some like heavy egg sinkers for like the power bait where I can harvest trout. And I'll do some of that tomorrow too. Keep a hat on so I don't blind y'all. I want to go out and set the tent up tomorrow and do some carp and trout. It's going to be absolutely horrible conditions. Jimmy's back. Welcome in, Jimmy. Thanks for joining back up. I appreciate that, buddy. Hope you've had a good New Year's. So as far as the channel, hey, there's Phoenix Princess. How you doing, Phoenix? Hope you have a great night as well. We're going to be up for like an hour, a little bit longer, depending on how the conversation goes. Did Brad sneak in? I missed. Maybe there's another Brad that I'm not thinking of. Yeah, I don't know the other Brad. I know ATC is Brad, but I don't see Brad in here. So yeah, as far as the cooking channel, with my part-time gig that I've got, I have access to all kinds of seafood. And I asked my members this a little bit ago, and I'm going to dive in a little bit more cooking, and I'm going to try to take it up to another level. And I'm not going to do the phony stainless steel kitchen stuff. I'm just not going to do it. It's going to be more real, but I am going to work hard on trying to make, some good recipes from a bunch of different fish, like octopus, sea urchin, all those things I have access to. They're the top two things that I'm bringing home from work soon. So you're going to see some crazy videos like that coming, and we're going to build that cooking playlist way up. Some of those videos, it's hard to keep them within 3 minutes. So I'll probably do them long format videos on the cooking. But then I will, like if I make octopus once, it'll be a long video. If I do it again, I'll shorten it into a 3-minute video. So that's the one big resolution that we have on the channel, is to really take the cooking up a notch. I enjoy doing it. It works with our schedule. So I want to rig up some cameras in the kitchen and like mount them in the right places and install some lighting. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I had too many beverages. Jimmy, you're not alone, man. I'm not saying it was drink related, but I tripped on my cat and broke my ribs last night. Fell down my steps. So 2025 came in with a bang. So if I'm talking a little weird or you hear air, like me gasping for air, that's what's going on there. Rose, welcome back in. Skeeter, cheers, Skeeter. Tim, shorts are up to 3 minutes now. You do have to keep the music to a minute or less. So it's a little weird uploading it. Yeah, for me, I have to go through YouTube Studio and upload them that way. because when I try to upload it through my phone on regular YouTube, it still gives me the option of 15 seconds or 1 minute. But if you go in and upload through YouTube Studio, it looks like it's going to be a long format video, but it's in the vertical viewpoint, and give it a couple minutes and it'll automatically turn that into a short if it's less than 3 minutes. Then you can go back if you want and edit it, whatever you need to edit it. It's settings, title, all that crap on YouTube. But yeah, it is up to 3 minutes. So I thought 3 minutes for some cooking is perfect. Like, trying to keep it simple, but I do want to take it up a little bit on some of the recipes. Because I'm not a half bad cook, but I'm like a real cook, like, like your parents probably were brought up throwing things together. There was no recipes or anything. But I know for people who are newer to cooking or have never cooked octopus or sea urchin or red snapper or cobia, all these items that like I have access to, I want to make sure that there's a recipe, there's a buying list, there's all the basics, and I just want to put that out there in a consistent format so you guys know what you're expecting when you see the notification for another recipe. And I want them to be fine. I want them to be retrievable. With my channel, that's another big thing we're working on, is we're trying to build it as a resource center. I'm a horrible entertainer. I'm not here just to entertain, and I'm not a really great educator, but I do want you guys to be able to find what I was talking about. If I dealt with split shot or bobbers or whatever, I want you to be able to retrieve them. So I'm trying to keep the playlists organized too. Yeah, that cat's definitely a CIA op. He tried to take me out. The wife is here. That is my wife if you've never seen her. Message deleted. Let me see. Okay, that's great. Thank you for taking care of that one, Justin. So the other resolution is hunting videos for 2025. We're going to get into the hunting videos, and we're going to go all in on it. And did you need something, or are you just hanging out?
I'm just poking in to say
Okay. Hi. All right. Hi to your wife. Everybody is saying hi.
Yep, I do exist.
I thought I was in trouble.
No.
Yeah, S.Y. Davis, don't troll and ask like that. Just come in and hang out, man. Just come in and hang out. I'll show it. I've handled this. Yeah, S.Y. Davis, come in and hang out. You're going to get plenty of subscribers. You need 50 to go live. So, yeah, come around, hang out with us. We'll get you there real quick. Mandy's Candy, good to see you. Happy New Year. Mrs. Skeeter saying hi. You can read those as they pop up. I don't think she's going to dance like Mrs. Skeeter. Hey, Matthew, let me get you a wrench. I've seen you over in Justin's. That's the refrigerator or the washing machine. Standard mod. There we go. That's why I'm going to take a chance on you. I'm just going to give you a wrench to make it easier for you. I gave you a wrench which will allow you to go around and connect. Just watch a couple minutes of videos, leave a comment, thumbs up, and people will come back over to you. Bananarama, yeah. Or verticals, if all the trolls are going to be out. So yeah, going full into hunting. I'm not going to show all our cards, but we have planned. We're going to be largely over on Rumble for that. The account's barely set up there, so don't bother going over there to find Alvin. What's cracking, buddy? I didn't even see you in a while. Hope you're doing good. Let me get you a wrench. Skeeter is always around spying. But yeah, we're going over to Rumble for the hunting videos. There's just too much questions when it comes to the community standards, and certain things are red. When I want to show you how to process a deer, I can't have it be brown. It's red. It's supposed to be red. It's important to see the colors if you're going to do it right. So we're going to Rumble for that stuff. We'll still chat. We'll discuss it. We can do some, hey, Cam, welcome in, Cam. We'll still discuss it, and we'll do lives on YouTube about some of the hunting videos. But yeah, we're going to start that up. So maybe give me about a month. We've got some videos shot already. Lyle's actually going to be doing some work on those with me, especially for some of the graphics, as you'll see. And yeah, Rumble's just like YouTube. It's a little freer. That's the next best one that I thought I could go to. I've done my research on it for hunting. That's what I'm going to do. I wish I could stick to YouTube on it, but it's too much problems with it. There will never be memberships on Rumble. Nothing like that. It's going to be anyone can go check it out. They're going to be pretty much straightforward point of view hunting videos. I can't do that because you're not allowed to shock or anything. They're, like the community standards are built, so you really can't do it. Real-time catfishing. That is Mr. Parker. Thank you for the logo. I posted it, I think, on YouTube tonight. Can't remember. I think I shared it out on my community tab. Real-time catfishing makes some really awesome logos, and he made another one for me. I do want to get some hats made up. If I want to talk to Butterflies and Sunshine. She has a place in like Souderton that makes hats.
Oh yeah.
So I want to get off of YouTube and get like a human being making her stuff. Then I don't have to worry about shipping. We're in Pennsylvania, SY. So East Coast of the United States. Where in the UK are you located? A lot of people's content goes to Rumble. I know there's ways to load it to YouTube and then load it up. I'm not going to do that. If I post something to Rumble, it's going to Rumble. If I post something to YouTube, it's going to YouTube. I hardly will ever post something to TikTok, download that, and send it over to YouTube. I just won't do that. I have a different idea of what I want to do with each of those things, and I want them their own brand, basically. Myra, what's going on? What's going on? Definitely let's talk about the giveaway for the 15th. Myra she has all kinds of little gifts. I don't know what you were thinking. I kind of forgot the conversation until you reminded me. But I know you had some fishing related stuff. So I don't know if you could like maybe email me what you're thinking and we could pick out like 3 or 4 prizes. I just have to make it like US. I can't afford to mail it around the world. Some of the mailing's out of control and the postage. If it's doable, I'll do it. But otherwise, I think it's going to be easier to just say, US only for most of that stuff. Yeah, I think that design, John Parker, would be great on like a hat or like a white T-shirt. I like it. I like the way the fin pops on it. It looks really cool. Let's see. Matthew's in Ohio. Hey, VV. Welcome back. Welcome back. Luke's got cousins in PA. Yeah, it seems like everybody in Virginia has people in PA, and everyone in PA has people in Virginia. I don't know what the correlation is, but I guess we all came out of the same areas. VV is trying to build himself up. He's looking for new friends. Connect over to him. Aussie, I'm going to start designing hats, shirts, hoodies this year. I did a while back. I'm getting back to it. Just have to move and settle into a new place. That's awesome, Rose. So we go through YouTube. We have the YouTube store. Then I have another store. They're both pretty good. The issue is like shipping. Like I've got something I need to ship to Alaska. They require a physical address. The person only has a P.O. box. So it doesn't work. I'd have to ship it to me, turn around and ship it to them. So I'm paying $10 for them to ship it to me and $10 to ship it out for a $20 hat. It's just silly. So I need to have a place near me that sells all that stuff. And, then I can walk over to it. You want to sit down or?
No, I got to make butterscotch pudding with Kev.
Gotcha.
Just coming down to say hi.
Cruising for Adventure. Welcome in. What kind of pudding?
Butterscotch.
Put some whiskey in that.
Pudding?
Oh.
Alright, I'm going to go back up.
Oh, the long neck bass bottle opener comes to mind. Yes. Yes, Myra. I like that. Snail mail. It all comes down to postage. It's first of all, I was going to say I'm not cheap, but I am cheap. I have to be cheap. Like, I don't have a full-time job anymore. This is my full-time gig. I picked up a part-time job to make ends meet, but I purposely didn't do full-time because I want to make this channel something bigger and I want to make it self-supporting. So that's kind of my goal with this. And if I'm going full-time, I won't have the time. So, we're committed to making this thing work. I am looking at, I'm a guide, I'm a licensed guide in Alaska. I am looking at getting my Pennsylvania guiding license up and operating as early as springtime. So I will be hopefully offering kayak guided fishing in a few months as part of the channel. Where you at in PA? I'm west of Pittsburgh. So I'm on the right side of the state. And I'm over here towards Philly. I always say I got a lot of Pittsburgh friends, so don't take it the wrong way when I say we're on the right side of the state. I do love Pittsburgh, especially like going to Pittsburgh and Somerset and all that stuff. Beautiful place. Bill, since you're a PA person, I'm going to get you a wrench so you can connect because we do have a lot of PA people in here. Make sure you have Tim, likes to fish and hunt. He's out that way. Let me give you a wrench. Add as mod. Hey, if anyone's coming in with any questions, don't, just because I'm yapping and yapping, don't hesitate to ask fishing questions. All right, do the best I can. I try to answer your questions. Cat and Jack, oh, I must be behind. You're saying hello to Kristen, and she's already upstairs making pudding. River Rat, Ernest, Happy New Year. It was good to see you live last night. I put you on the big screen, and then I promptly fell down my steps. It was not related to your live in any way. So I did not catch your live. It did run the entire time. So let me know how you did last night. I'm glad you were out on the water. Anything the Renaissance man. Hey, there's Dirty Mag Acres. Welcome, welcome. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Big Rig, we don't talk politics in here, bud. All right, no politics. We don't really talk about religion. I'm spiritual, so we sometimes will talk about some stuff like that and faith and things like that. But we're trying to find common grounds with everybody. So yeah, those things do need to be discussed, but we're not going to discuss it here on our fishing channel. We're going to keep those things away. Because anymore, people don't know how to discuss anything to get anywhere. They discuss things to tell you what they think. They're not listening at all. So there's no point. I don't care what side you're on. There's no point in a forum like this to even try to discuss it. Unless your whole channel's based on that. Then maybe you get an audience that comes open-minded, ready to learn something or listen, But it's just not worth it in my experience. I've been on YouTube for 4 years. They're not coming here to hear politics. So we're just going to keep it family friendly and positive vibes. And we're going to talk about things we all have in common, like not being able to fish, not being able to catch anything. Let's see, Julie. Yeah, S.Y. Davis is trying to get up to 50 subs so he can go live. But yeah, definitely hang out with us. You'll get you there. A lot of awesome channels in here. Culture, food, and different tastes. Let me get you a wrench, new friend. Met you, I believe, last night. Add as a mod. And we're going to do a lot more cooking this year. I do have a lot of cooking. We did, we're primarily, I guess if you ask me what kind of fishing channel we are, we're a catch and cook type channel. This time of year, it's really hard to do that. We are still doing that. I mean, got tons of perch videos and cooking videos and cleaning, processing. We try to do everything from water to the table. But I want to do a lot more fishing videos. And I would love to learn more culture cooking because I just cook the way I know. And I struggle at trying to find like an Indian recipe, for example, when I don't understand what the ingredients are. But I am learning real quick with my new job because we do a lot of ready to cook meals, which those things are basically like we're filleting the fish out, but then we're collecting asparagus and then 50 different sauces. So we're basically doing the chef's work and the person just slides it in the oven. So I am learning some of that stuff, but I'm going to rely on channels like Cultures, Food, Different Taste, channels like that to kind of increase my knowledge. Tennessee whiskey. Um, Teespring does hats and merchandise. Yep. Yeah, we have all that. We have a shop. We have a shop through YouTube. I think we are on Teespring actually. But it's better to get it local. I see so many people live. I fish with people physically all the time. Almost every day I see one of my subscribers out fishing. We live in a pretty um, not congested. We're out in the country, but we're only an hour from the city of Philadelphia. So there's a lot of people that we run into or could run into. And I've got no problem fishing with people or meeting up with. I'd rather meet somebody face to face. Somebody orders a hat, I'd rather just go fish with them and drop that hat off. It's so much cheaper on shipping. And what happens if we do giveaways? And I'm not going to go in there. I'm going to, yeah, butterscotch. How far back am I? G4, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, I do have the hats on there. I haven't sold a single one. Nobody buys anything from merch stores, it seems. I get emails all the time. People always asking me, but I don't sell nothing on there. So I don't know if the store doesn't work. I had a couple people say it was a pain in the butt. They couldn't find the hats. So all I seem to get are complaints, and I don't make any money doing it that way. But I give out hats, sweatshirts. I see people all the time that I just buy stuff, and then I have hats and shirts sitting in the house, and I sell more of that stuff all the time. I sell stuff. I think I sold 3 sweatshirts this week physically. I haven't sold anything on this stupid store. Oh yeah, I must be way behind. There's Tim, likes to fish. He's commenting on my right side of the state. Oh my goodness. I've kayaked in the Boron Mountains in Canada. Lovely place. Not sure exactly where that is. I'm sure it's awesome. We almost honeymooned in Banff. We ended up going down to the Smoky Mountains, but we were going to do Banff, which is, I believe, is the Rocky Mountains where they cross into Canada. So many awesome places. Vivi, my biggest fish. I got a 75-pound king salmon years ago. I guess that's still my biggest weight-wise, which is embarrassing. I should have something over 100 pounds, but I've never really landed a big ray. Mission Discovery got his 100-pounder this year. It was like 120. It was huge. I've never really landed a big shark or targeted them much. But yeah, I probably will target some bigger fish. The king salmon's one of my favorite catches. We've got a muskie that's over 48 inches. That was my favorite catch just because of the way it happened. There's a whole playlist. We got it live. We caught the thing live. So all the videos out there on it. Rolling when we hooked it and everything, which is awesome. Favorite catch because my son and I worked so hard at catching it, and we ended up catching it at a creek that I fished at since I was a kid. And it's kind of like a local legend that there's big muskie in there, and half the people think you're crazy, and the other half know they're in there, and they don't tell anyone, and it's like a big local thing. So yeah, what are your thoughts on multi-year fishing licenses? I don't know anything about them. I think they do 3 and 5. I just get 1 year. I think there's I got the book right here. I just got my license, so let me look. I think I actually highlighted that. See if I can find that real quick. I was trying to study up, well, on the guiding stuff, permits and everything, but also for like the Wild Creek. There's so many different types of fishing, like the mentored youth stuff. Pretty good with that. People have questions. Class A, special red creeks, delayed harvest, catch and release trophies. There's so many weird little caveats. My washing machine's trying to walk across the floor. Fishing licenses, page 4. I just felt like I went to Walmart. I felt like if I asked anything but a normal 1 year license, I was gonna have like the manager called and it'd be like 4 hours. So I feel like I was being coached to just get the regular license. Um, yeah, I don't know. Multi-year fishing license, page 5. All right, here we go. A 3-year fishing license is valid through 2027, 25, 26, 27, yeah. A 5-year license through 2029, and a 10-year license through 2034. Customers who buy multi-year licenses save money by not having to pay the agent transaction fees each year. Anglers can also purchase multi-year trout, Lake Erie combo permits and experience similar savings, or purchase single-year trout, Lake Erie and combo. I mean, it's probably a good idea because prices only go up, right? So if you got a license for 3 years, I doubt the licenses are going to ever go down. So I think it's probably a good idea. But man, I'm barely getting by. We're barely making mortgage payments. So we're just doing what we need to do to get by. I hate to say it like that because I was a financial background, but we got to do that. Let's see. Keep it family friendly, Randy. We're here to fish for fish, not people. River Rat said, I didn't catch anything, but I had so much fun trying to. It seemed like I enjoy River Rat's videos because it kind of reminds me and my buddies, like when we go out there not live and we're just like chilling, laid back, having a good time fishing. Let's see, MVP. Appreciate it, Mike. I did watch most of your live today. I was out hiking with my son. I had it playing in my pocket, and then when we got in the car, I was watching it. Still windy. We got heavy wind here as well. Let me get comment. Let me try to get caught up. I'm only 36 away from 3K, says Rose. It's my birthday really soon. Hoping to get there. It's been a long haul, 2.5 years. Awesome. Ian, I am not the flat earth guy. Absolutely not the flat earth guy. My wife is a scientist. She's a chemist. I am not the flat. I've been to Alaska. I've been around the world. That's all I'm going to go. Yeah. Get out of the basement sometime. Yeah, you guys don't have to block everything like that. Ian, you can let stuff like that slide, bud. We don't want to be like hardcore blocking everything everybody says. I believe in free speech, but it is family friendly, so things that are like, sexual in nature and stuff, that you can kick that stuff to the curb right away. Tomcat Josh, what's going on? Look at that star next to your name. I appreciate you. There's my boy right there, my Marlin member, Fishing with Steve. Good evening, Captain. I hope you're feeling a little better. Just say you don't think I'm joking. I do. I don't know what important things are here, but I do have all my licenses. I am a legit captain. Which now they heard that at work, and we have 2 Bobs. We have 2 Bobs in seafood. So I'm now Captain Bob at work, which is pretty cool working in the seafood department when customers come up and ask for Captain Bob. Let's see. Let me get caught up. That's right. Jimmy's my net man. We call it it's a stocky, but we call it like a big, almost 4-pound brookie, probably 3-4 pounder. And Jimmy came running over with the net. He happened to be fishing next to us, and he ran over with his net, which was awesome. I love meeting people in person. Obviously, we can't meet everybody, and it's really cool that we can meet people on YouTube all around the world. And I love that about YouTube. It's probably one of the best things. It shows you how small the world is. Like I like watching Jose. I don't understand the thing that guy says, but I know what he's talking about because he's talking about fishing, and I can tell when he loses a fish and he's showing you power bait. Love that stuff, man. It's awesome. And his wife Abigail's on there half the time, and she translates and speaks English. And it don't matter, man. You don't even need to know someone's language to watch them fish or cut fish. It's awesome. What are you fishing for? I'm not fishing for anything, Lynn. I'm sitting in my house right now. I'm in my basement. These are just Q&As for the public. So if anyone's got questions about fishing, I fish every day live, 10 to 2. So I'm slightly distracted with 3 fishing poles and hopefully a lot of fishing action going on. So I don't always get the time to answer questions. So that's what's good about these. When I'm sitting down in my house, you got my undivided attention. And then I can answer any questions y'all have. Yeah, VV, like Steve's saying, just slow it down. We all see you. You're gonna get connections, man. Just chill with it, or people will start blocking you for spam in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, it's VV. A couple of you guys are like going nuts with the spam. You know, what's going to happen is people are going to either start blocking you on here or like timing you out, or they're not going to want to sub to your channel, because we have got a lot of our community here that come in and they watch all the time, spend a lot of time here. And when people just pop in there like that, it's just, you know, it's not the best way to go. What's Mike saying? 150-pound lake sturgeon, then it goes down to a 95. Holy cow, man. Holy cow. Send me your address on Messenger. River Rat, you don't got to do nothing, man. Oh, I still got some coffee here. Let me write it down. I will forget. I'm going to write River Rat, but I better just type needs my address, because I'll look at this and it'll say River Rat and I'll be like, needs address. Maybe I can send you something right back. Who can't you time out? Tim. I wonder if this is probably dead. Let me make sure I didn't make anybody a managing mod, because here we only have standard mods. I don't have any managing mods. We went down that road and we're not going down that road again. I don't really want people blocked unless I know about it and it's like recurring, and then it, you know, then they can be blocked. But what happens on YouTube is people can be a little immature, and they have their own personal agendas and start blocking people, and we don't need to do that. We don't all have to be best friends. We're just here to like enjoy fishing and meet each other on a common plane, which is fishing. Positive vibes in 2025. Yeah, VW, let me get caught up on chat, but you need to stop or we're going to kick you, bud. All right? Let me get, because now I got to scroll to the bottom of the chat. Somebody was in here trying to be cool and ask questions. I got to fly right past them. Okay? Ontario, what's going on? Outfish Ontario's in the house. Lucy Warren. Yeah, we're vertical, Tim. When we go vertical, it's a whole different ball game. So when I'm horizontal every day, the only people that come in are our regulars. So when we go vertical, which I want to do because I want new people to come in, right? I want people that are new to fishing to come in and ask every question, as silly as it might be. I want them to ask, because we have an awesome community here. We got the best community on YouTube, and y'all will give them the right advice if I don't know it. Somebody comes in and asks you how to throw a jerk bait, June T is going to have to say something. Like, I know jerk bait's one of my favorite fish or fishing techniques. I used to do it more for pickerel than anything, but he's got me throwing it for trout now. But like, obviously he's the OG on the jerk bait stuff. I think YouTube got something to do with fishing licenses going up. I think I paid $45 for the year stamp and the fishing license. I mean, for my trout stamp. Stuck at doing two different things at once. Probably my big expense in fishing is the license to purchase for myself and my family. Yeah, cruising for adventure. It's huge. That's like I just bought Pennsylvania. And I'm gonna have to buy New York. I'm gonna have to buy Maryland. I'm driving the Florida. We're going down to Florida, guys. Huge trip. We're renting an RV. We're driving the whole family. We're going to be live all the way down. We're driving down to South Carolina. We're going to see Mom and Son's Train Rail fans in South Carolina, hang out with them, fish some of the areas there. Then we're going to drive down towards Tallahassee, Florida, where Fishhead Videos lives, hang out, hopefully fish with Ray and Lucas and Dylan and their kids, their whole fam. And then we're going to head east and fish Amelia Island. And then we're going to head south for some like scuba diving. So yeah, we're going to be traveling and we're going to need a license in every single state we decide to fish in. It's not cheap. Thank God most of them, like kids, are free. So a lot of times when we fish somewhere else in another state, if you ever noticed on some of my videos, you might see me running camera in that. It's because I don't want to buy a license. I just let Kev do all the fishing in those states. Yeah, SY, you got to chill with that too, man. You got to chill a little bit, bro. Butterflies and Sunshine. I was looking for you earlier. If you can email me that shop again, I think you had a merch person that made some merch locally to us, like Solderton. I definitely want to go down that road. I still will have my merch store on YouTube, but I want to have better control over stuff. I want to have some hats and t-shirts and hoodies ready to go where I can just call the person and say, yo, can I get 5? I want to be able to do that stuff. So yeah, I wasn't ready last time you were chatting about it, but I am. Take it easy with that. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's cool. You got to remember, like a lot of people that come in here are young, so it's cool. Somebody apologizes. It's awesome, man. It's all good, buddy. I can teach you how to make a cup of tea. My son and I are headed to the Harrisburg and Philadelphia show. Awesome. It's like February, right? I won't be out in Harrisburg because I don't want to say PTSD because that's not cool because there's soldiers in our chat with that stuff. But I spent a lot of my life sitting in that booth when we had our fishing lodges in Alaska. But I think is the Philadelphia show, is that the expo show in Oaks? I think it is. I will go to that. I go to that every year. Yeah, absolutely. I kind of want to get a table over there, honestly. I think it would be cool to get a table with like Jeff Beal, Mission Discover, a bunch of like local channels, Butterflies and Sunshine, Fishing with Ed Evans. It would kind of be cool to have like a booth and where we could just chill and hang out. That might be fun. Fishing with Jose, there's my buddy right there. My Texan trout fisherman. Just trying to hush, not block. Yeah, I hear you. Let me know. You guys can let me know what you were having trouble doing. It's so hard to keep track of what's going on sometimes. Yep, just trying to quiet them a little. No blocking. Exactly. Fishing and chefing. Let me get you a wrench. I've seen you around. It's been a minute, but I think I've seen you in other channels. Welcome in. Hope everybody is doing good. I think VV may have accidentally deleted Fishing and Cheffing's message. I don't think that was intentional. Tommy and sometimes I hesitate to read these out loud because some people have some crazy names. But let me go in on this one. Tommy and my ADHD addictions, close to heart on that one. Greetings from Slovakia. I'm just stopping in to spread some love and positivity. Also to hit the like button so I can help with the algorithm. Have a blessed day. Awesome, my man. Tommy, if you hang around again, I'll wrench you up, bud. It's the first time seeing you, but you seem like a cool dude and I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I think I wrenched them up. I'm pretty sure I saw them in your live, actually. I think I just wrenched them up, right? Yeah, I think so. I get caught up here. 130 here for 3 year sports license. Yeah, I guess that's about the average. I mean, it's 40. I just paid 45 for one year here in Pennsylvania. But you know what? I'm going to get my money's worth. I feel bad for the folks who don't fish often. Um, so yeah, since we're doing this for public, there are 2 days that you can fish for free. No license required. If you're under 16, you don't need a license, first of all. But you can fish for free May 25th and July 4th, statewide in Pennsylvania. So there are a couple days where you can go out and fish free. Fishing licenses are not that much. You can buy like 3-day licenses too. I worked with a guy, and that was one of the reasons I started this channel. This kid came over to our company as an intern from Jamaica, and he wanted to go fishing, but he didn't really know any of the rules, didn't know what he was doing. So every year for his birthday, I'd buy him his fishing license, which you can do. You can actually buy a gifted fishing license. I'd have to look up how I did it, but it's possible. And I bought this dude his license for like 3 years, I think. So yeah, it's something cool to do if you got a few extra bucks and you know somebody who's into fishing, doesn't have the money. Tips on keeping my lure in place. It comes loose a lot. So Loma, I'm thinking you're talking about like bottom fishing. What kind of lure are you using? So it depends what you're fishing for. If you're going to go for something like catfish where you need it anchored down, it's really just a matter of using a heavier weight. But if you're fishing for things like trout, sometimes you want that bait to actually go along the bottom. Because your lure, you don't want in play. You want your lure to be moving. Like when you say lure, I'm thinking of something you cast and retrieve, like a inline spinner or a crankbait, something like this, right? Let me go show you some other things real quick. Hopefully I'm not so far behind. Loma didn't go back to bed already. Now, here's another setup. Did I put a weight? It's so hard to see this line. But now this is a heavier weight, but it slips. And then I'm going to put a small hook off the back of this. And I'm either going to blow up a worm so it floats, or I'm going to put power bait on. So this will float up off the bottom, probably about 3 feet up in the air. So here's some of my carp rigs. They're kind of like same kind of idea as a catfish rig, heavyweight and coming up like that. But a lot of times I don't want it to stay in one spot. I want it to move. So it just kind of depends on, what you're doing. Let me skip down and see if you're still with us, and I'll try to answer that a little bit better. Subscribe. Run and carry. I hope I'm not missing anybody. I'm going to try to get caught up. You can get 1-day passes, and you can get 3-day passes in most states. Usually once you get to like 3-day, it's cheaper to get the whole year. Because I used to do that with New York. I'd go up eventually. Like we'd go up, we do some mining up in New York. We used to do mining in New York. For kids, nothing like too crazy. Herkimer Diamonds, actually. And there was a little wild brown trout stream right there. So I'd buy like a 1-day license, and then it's like, oh, somebody's like talks me into going up salmon fishing in the fall, and I got to get another 1-day license. Brood's in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. I think I said hi already. Chloe. Hey, Bob, come say Maddie's and say hey. I will come over. I was in one a couple nights ago. I popped over to you guys. I don't know if you could see me though, because I said hi twice. I didn't get any responses from anybody. It was weird. Tips to keep your hook in place. Knots. Yeah. So you can probably take a screenshot of this. But now you're all this is when all the fishing nerds are gonna tell me I'm wrong. But here's my knot. I do the improved clinch knot, right? That's the knot. You can Google it, the improved clinch, and they have some really cool images of how to tie it. But it's pretty simple to do. You're putting the line through the hole of your hook, right? And then you're winding it around. I do like 5 or 7 loops, and then you're taking that tag end, you're passing it through the loop that was created, and then you're cinching it tight. That's what this is showing you here. I can do that knot blindfolded, so that's the knot I use right there. Now I know there's different knots for different reasons, but you're talking about a hook. So improved clinch would work. The polymer is another real popular knot you can do. But yeah, what I'll do is, Loma, I'm going to take a picture of this. I'll get a good quality picture of this, and I'll put it on my community page tonight. Okay, that way you can get a better shot at this. And if you want to Google, you'll be able to Google and see like it actually being done. Let me put you guys back over here and make a note to myself. Loma. Let me wrench you up at the same time, Loma, so that you've got better access here. Seem like you're asking some decent, good, awesome questions. Pick of knots. Community page. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff, send it over. Can you email me that info? You got my phone number. Text that to me. I wanna talk to that person, get set up. Happy New Year, gotta go. Video premiere in a few. All right, Slab Hunter's got a video premiere. Anybody want to go check that out? Jump over. Philly is Oaks, that's what I thought. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be in Oaks. Do you guys know when that is? It's usually February. Let me look that up. This is supposed to be a Q&A. I think I'm supposed to be doing the A's. Philadelphia. Gosh, I can't type. Fishing show. I use my computer to keep my phone on the right angle. Valentine's Day. Sweet. So it's February 14th, 15th, and 16th in Oaks, PA. Oh, Fishing with Steve, you got to be going. Jimmy, you got to be going. Last year, I think we did a short, but I want to do it big time this year. Nolan and I kind of did like and Kevin, we all fished in the little trout booth. So I think we got to get all the YouTubers together, and we all have to have a competition in the little trout tank and see who can catch a trout in there. She does embroidery, quality stuff, willing to do any number, even just one. Yeah, that's awesome. That's important to me too, because I can't do like 100. I can't be losing money on stuff. I would love to be able to do it. I'm just not there yet. But yeah, maybe if she can do small things and she's got the emblems and stuff on file, I would think it'd be easier and easier for her to just knock them out. So yeah, I'll talk to her for sure. Let me get caught up here. Yeah, you got it. Fishing and chefing, two of my favorite things, man. I love cooking and I love fishing. $20 for a year on a trout stamp here. Yeah, you got some awesome trout fishing though, Justin. And we got some good trout fishing around, but not like you guys. Danny the Stinger Manny, what's going on? Good to see you, buddy. How many hours did you sleep after being up for 28 stinking hours? Yeah, I think Jose is like Amarillo. Everybody thinks Texas is hot, but they get like snow and stuff up there. Amarillo, Texas. I need to see where that is again. I think that's where he said. Yeah. So here's Texas, right? So people talk about Texas. You all think he's fishing down here in the desert somewhere. He's up here, man. He's almost in Kansas, probably. I don't know. I'm just estimating. He's in Denver getting snow. He's right there. It's just like Alaska. People think it's like, penguins and polar bears. Yassine, we do some sea fishing. I'm 3 hours, 2 hours from the ocean. But yeah, our last big video was ocean saltwater striper fishing. We got some monsters. We go down there a few times a year. Well, it used to be like 1 or 2 trips. We're doing probably like 5, 6 at least now. But we do primarily freshwater because that's what's around us. Youth need a license for mentored. You can purchase or get a free one. Yep, mentored, and you need to be fishing with an adult as well. I have that here. To participate in a mentored fishing youth day, anglers 16 or older, they're the adult anglers, must possess a valid fishing license, and they must be accompanied by a youth. The adults are allowed to fish, which is a little hairy. They can't keep the fish. The kids are allowed to keep 2. I can understand fishing if you're fishing with a little kid, because if they're not doing it just right, it's sometimes helpful to show them by doing, and then you can hand the rod off or whatever. I just don't like it because it kind of opens the door for like adults to catch the fish and hand the rod off every time just to get their 2 fish, which is kind of silly. But yeah, there's a voluntary youth fishing license, and there's there's a mentored youth permit. That's free, and that's what they're supposed to have. They can also get a voluntary youth fishing license, which is $297. So you can donate money to help all the wonderful things the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission do. I just love fish and boat game wardens that are watching this, Green Pants, police, IRS, YouTube, love them all, man. Just awesome people. Heard once you reach 3,000, get out of here, dude. Skeeter, the words tutu come out of your mouth way too often. I don't understand what's going on with you and tutus. And Justin's getting just as bad. These days fishing a lot of trout. I saw you, man. You looked like you had your basket full today. I was watching you. Tim likes to fish and hunt. Just sub to your channel. Yeah, he's a good dude. Tim's awesome. Texas is cold. That's the other thing. Texas got the wind too. I got little property. I'm not rich, out in Wyoming. It's like 30 mile an hour all the time. Thump, what's going on? Let me get you a wrench. It's been a while since you were in here because I used to be real tight on who I wrenched up. But yeah. Yeah, Pennsylvania right now, we have got like 40 mile an hour winds going on today and tomorrow. I may regret it, but I'm going to fish tomorrow. So if you pop in there and it sounds horrible, I know instead of 30, 40 people, we're going to have 15. I get it. I wouldn't want to watch it if it's loud, or I just mute it. But I'm going to do my best to set the tent up, tie it down real tight, kind of get a natural wind shelter. I want to carp fish because we have a real narrow window and it's going to freeze up again. So as windy as it is, we could catch carp tomorrow, and I want to catch carp. I think there's some tanks around, and I want to be able to, you can't catch them if you're not in the water. So 2 of my 3 biggest carp I caught in the wintertime. So I don't know if that's I don't know if there's logic behind that, but I want to make sure I'm fishing. Bob's pool table looks like my dining room table. It's a mess, man. Party basement. I'm so far behind. And they're just, Herkimer diamonds are awesome. We got some good ones. We've made several trips. And when we come down from Herkimer, New York, our tires are like buffed out at the bottom. We got way too much weight in the car. Kat said I used to fish for trout. They would often swallow the hook. So yeah. So when they're swallowing the hook, a lot of times it's, like I say, don't ever use power bait if you're going to keep the fish, if you're going to do catch and release. So usually it means you're using live bait, or you're using like corn, you're using real bait, and you're not holding the rod. It's sitting out there. They've swallowed the bait, and they're sitting there just digesting it basically before you finally see the rod. So being more attentive to the rod, using lures, jig heads help with, they tend not to swallow jig heads as much. And keeping the line taut, tight lines, as the saying everyone says, that's what it is, tight lines, and watching your rod for those indicators that you got a fish playing with it. As soon as you see anything going or that line pulling, set the hook. So using the right weight, keeping that line tight, which means checking it, right? The wind blows, the current moves it around, tighten it up again, keep it nice and tight so that you can see that bite and hopefully get to the rod, set the hook before it swallows it. I always prepare to keep fish. And, if it comes in and it's not swallowed, I let them go. Sometimes I do just catch and release, but I fish in a lot of places that are stocked so I can legally keep them. We're in the fall season here in Pennsylvania, so you're legally allowed to keep 3. So like tomorrow, I'll have one of my rods set up for trout, 2 for carp, and I'll probably have a worm or power bait. So it'll probably swallow it because I'm going to eat that fish. I'm not worried about it. I catch a second one, might swallow it, no problem. Third one might swallow it. If I got 3 trout in my cooler, that rod comes in. I'm done trout fishing. I'm not going to switch to catch and release or anything. I'm just done. If I'm going to spend the whole day trout fishing, then I might want to catch something that I don't have to eat. And that's when I'm going to make sure I'm not. Live trout fishing's tough unless you're walking around talking, you got the mic on. But sitting behind a camera where you have to like run to a rod, they're going to be swallowing those hooks. Golden Fish Eye Cannon. I know you're an old friend. I think you changed your channel name. He rent you up. I think you're the dude that bikes, if I'm not mistaken. I remember you did a whole bunch of biking and fishing videos, so you the man. Crappy Man, I think you're a New Jersey dude, aren't you? Happy New Year. Don't mod me. Why don't you want to rent? You don't want to connect around, bro? Cheers, Paul. There's my buddy Paul. PA couple. He's one of my members and another PA channel. Let's see. 23KC. What's cracking, buddy? Good to see you. Hope you had a good New Year. I think each state fishes differently. Absolutely, Jose. Absolutely. I said that earlier in there. Always go over local knowledge more than anything else. That's the most important stuff. What somebody's telling you about that creek, I take that over some dude, in California telling you how to catch a trout. And I know the trout Jose's fishing, they're probably not there all year round. Valentine's Day is coming up. Awesome, Jimmy. I hope to see you down there. We'll have to try to communicate when we're all going to the Philadelphia Fishing Show. That'd be really cool to be able to meet up and meet a bunch of people. Monkey Man Productions, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Awesome. Connecting around. Let's see. You guys are flying. Yeah, we got one good day of ice fishing in, and then the ice is, I got to do some research. It might be half decent after this weekend again. We might get some more ice fishing in, but we had an awesome day. We spent one day on the ice. We put the ice shanty up, and we caught 5 pickerel and 1 perch, I believe was our count. So for us, that was awesome. I mean, we only had one place that was within 2 hours that we could get to a safe ice. So, and I didn't really know that much about the lake. So we kind of went out there and drilled a couple holes. And luckily on one of the holes, I snagged up some green grass, and I'm like, all right, we just drilled more holes right in that spot and fished that bed of green, and it worked. Bill Jensen, welcome, welcome. Indeed, we think fishing is awesome here. Absolutely. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Agatex or Agatex. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. SP. You like carp fishing? Carp fishing is probably one of my favorite things to do. My dad's going to get mad if he hears this because he hates carp and catfish. Growing up, he didn't really like that. He saw them as trash fish. But I guess the people overseas have kind of won me over. I love carp fishing. I think they're the most fun fish in freshwater to catch. Start to finish, they're the best fighting. And for me, having a YouTube channel, it's nice to be able to set those rods up and have a nice chat, relax, and wait for a good hit to go. Where you're not catching like some little fish, which I do. I catch little fish all the time, but you know what I mean. It's nice to have a big fish that you can throw in the net and weigh, give away prizes. Just makes a little bit more fun. Yeah, any of you guys coming in new, if I see you around a couple times, I will wrench you up. Feel free to tell me where you're from. Appreciate it. I love having new people in here. Last year, the ice sucked everywhere, even up in Minnesota, up in Canada. That's what I heard from everybody. I fished, I think we got 4 hours of ice fishing in last year. Horrible. Skeeter is not lying. Right there, if Skeeter gets up to which will be soon, when Skeeter gets up to 1,000 subs, him and I are going to do an overnight fishing trip. That is factual. We've already done some collabs together. We did Centralia, the city that's burning. There's a city that's on fire for, I don't know, 50 years. It's going to burn another 400 years. We went up there and we toured that together with my oldest boy. And we've been wanting to go up there and find an open hole where there's still fire burning active. And with the help of Skeeter, we were finally able to do that. So that was like a big dream for my buddy. Paul for PA Outdoors Couple says, going to try to go fishing tomorrow after I check my traps before my second job starts. I hope it's an enjoyable job. 2 jobs is tough, man. The green pants, you know what I'm talking about, Tim. Ryan, I just got 2 of our summer scavenger hunt photos. That is awesome, man. That is awesome. Did you put that on your community tab? Yo, 23KC with the $1 bang. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Ronaldo or Messi, are they soccer players? What are you talking about, Sad and the Chicken? Ronaldo or Messi? There's a lot of information I don't know about pop culture, about sports. I spent like 10 years of my life largely off the grid, and it's amazing when you do that, the holes of knowledge that you have. But I don't miss it. Mike's got worms. Awesome. God, what's wrong with you? Oh, Lord. We'll see if he comes back. If somebody keeps coming back and doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm totally obtuse to it, just point it out. I'll take care of it. Shad Daddy, what's going on? I'm hoping the wind will take down some trees I notched in my woods. That would be nice to do a little work for you. I got so many dead ash trees here. I'm scared, man. Every time the wind blows, I know, I got so much wood to chop down out there. I'm going to be cutting for years. I'll be back watching a few things in the last couple of weeks. Don't think I forgot about you still. Steve, you don't gotta say anything. You're one of the best supporters on here. There's so many great supporters, but Steve's a huge supporter of everybody. Yeah, Cat and Jack, I sound like a broken record. I know some people do it, and I sometimes catch fish that don't swallow it, but power bait, man, they swallow that stuff down all the time. They love swallowing it down. So I tend not to ever use it unless I plan to keep those fish. I got to bend some hooks back. I just looked at that jerk bait here. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can tell. Try to do this so it doesn't stand. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that definitely needs a little bend. Keep track of your hooks. After what happened to Brad's pup, let me put my little safety thing on here before somebody goes to the hospital. It'll probably be me. Sounds good. You gotta renew your subscription. I've been off with the boy being on break. Streamed it over a week, but I'll be back around the 10th. Awesome. Fishing's a great sport, Jose. What's cool about fishing is there's so many different styles of fishing. A lot of times I fish the style of fishing that I want to fish. Not, a lot of times I'm after the fish, but there's days where like I want exercise. So I'll go to like a wild trout stream and I'll blow through some good spots because I want to travel and I want to find new areas and I want to get like maybe 4 or 5 miles of walking in. So on those days, like that's really goal number 1 is to walk 5 miles. And then goal number 2 is to find a new spot. And then goal number 3 is just to catch a fish, kind of in those orders. I do a lot of that stuff because I'm lucky enough to be able to fish pretty much every day. So yeah, how many fish do you really need to catch? I'd rather find new spots sometimes. Justin says, got to stay close to my rod while trout fishing and keep them. I don't keep them, so try and make sure they don't swallow. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you can get away with it. I mean, I probably half of some days I'll catch 10 trout and none of them swallow it. Other days I'll catch 4 and all 4 will swallow it. It's weird. They're sometimes like that, but my information is general. I'm not after anybody. If I see somebody over there power bait, I could care less. If you're following the rules, that's all that matters. If you don't like the rule, go fight it with the game commission and get it changed. But so long as somebody's following the rule, you can't really say nothing. Yeah, good. I wanted to make sure I had the right person. Golden Fish Eye says, oh yes. I was doing some bike traveling and fishing. So I don't know if MVP is still in here. I know MVP is looking to get like a motorized scooter or an e-scooter or an e-bike. You guys should definitely connect. I know you're a peddler like I am, but still like some of the same gear and holding your rod. He might be able to learn a few tips from you. So when he gets this stuff, he might be a step ahead. But yeah, I do the same thing in the summer, especially when the creek is active. I live on a rail trail, and it's like an 80-mile long trail, and it's great to be able to access spots nobody else can. And I would have done a lot more this fall. I wanted to get into muskie, but I somehow ruptured my Achilles tendon, and that was, you guys saw me limping around the creeks the last couple of weeks, catching carp this fall before winter hit. It was all I could do to walk by the end. It killed me. Awesome. Yeah, I've seen 23KC live a few times. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's sent me some kind donations as well. That is awesome. I'll make sure I put his notifications on. Monkey Man Productions, hey, just subbed. Awesome. Sky Blues connected around. Yes, Cat and Jack, I do quite a bit of fly fishing. It's not hard to learn fly fishing. It depends what you're fishing for. The majority of fly fishing, it really it comes down to like using the right line, having the right weight of fly on it. The actual casting, it's hard to get really good at it if you're trying to catch like wild trout. But just go out there and catch sunfish in a creek. They're a lot more forgiving and you'll slam fish all day. And one of the best things, and what I use mostly, is roll casting. And roll casting is something where you actually don't bring the fly. You hardly bring it out of the water. It's going to be really hard to show you that. I should do a tutorial on this sometime. Maybe I can do it on my screen here. Roll cast. Let's see. Oh, that makes 0 sense. Bear with me, guys. Well, I don't want to share someone else's channel and take their views away. What I will say is, Kat, Google or YouTube roll casting. Roll casting is basically where you're not bringing the fly out of the water. You're just continually casting. So when you're fishing, you're usually going to fish a creek. Let's say you're fishing a creek, right? You want to you want to cast across from you and up a little bit. So kind of like 45 degrees. And then as that fly line's drifting, you want that fly line to drift down, and you want to keep the line as tight as possible. So that's the art of like mending the line. And there's a lot of little movements you make to keep that line straight because the current might push the line faster than it pushes the fly. But they're all minor things. When you're catching sunfish and you're fishing calm water or a lake, you're going to sight fish. You're going to watch them take it, and you're going to learn all those things. But just Google roll casting. If you know how to roll cast, you find a good hole, you're going to drift from up current like 45 degrees. You're going to let it come to you. You're going to let it go downstream about 45 degrees before it starts sweeping unnaturally across the water. That's where you're going to lift it. The fly is going to come towards you, and then you're just going to push down again. And it's a roll cast because the fly does this big roll and flops back out, lays back out on the upstream. And you can basically work 20 feet. Like you might have an eddy there that you think there's trout holding in. You can just keep roll casting and let that fly drift naturally right through there. But don't let people tell you it's hard. Just go to Walmart and get a cheap combo. I don't know what size fish. I think I've got like a size 5, 6 fly rod. I can do some videos on that stuff. I would say it's easy to learn. It's extremely hard to get really good at. But that's why it's fun. And then you've got dry flies, you've got the nymphs, you've got all kinds of stuff. But hey, Brad, can we turn? Whoops, I mistimed you out, Brad. Can we turn that light bulb down just a touch? Is it too warm in here? I can turn the temperature down half a degree for you, Brad. Serious question. What's the current being so strong? Does it even worth setting up tomorrow? For carp, I'm going, you know where I'm going. I'm going to the lake tomorrow. I would not mess with the river tomorrow. It looked like it's going to be flowing just as hard as it was today, if not more, because we live on the Perky. You know where we are, and the Perky's raging. It's not flooded, but it's coming to you. So you got a lot of water coming down to you yet. If you've got ponds to hit, I think I would go spend a day hitting the ponds. Why not? I'd hit the ponds. Tomcat saying hi to Brad. ATC is the legend of legends for sure. Awesome channel. That explains not getting the I don't know her comment. Me confused. My wife Rachel said she will go bike packing and fishing this year. That is awesome. My wife and I used to do a lot of mountain biking back in the day. We both raced at a high level. Butterflies and sunshine. Drop Skeeter's link. That's awesome. Anybody going live, just drop their link and we'll send them over. Danny, get some sleep. Yeah, Danny, it's scaring me. Get some sleep, bro. You've been up for like 40 hours here. Rose says, I've been seeing videos of weird fog all over the US and UK. Has anyone here been experiencing that? With so many of you being outdoors. Yeah, I haven't seen any fog here, anything too crazy. I feel like there's a bunch of not conspiracy theories going on right now because, I see the drones and there's some weird crap going. I'm not going to go into this, but that's no conspiracy. I've seen them. It's weird, man. They're like, Volkswagen buses flying around. Something's weird's going on. But yeah, it's something's going on, and I think that's what all these weird things are all about. I don't know. I'm going to get out of that conversation real quick. That looks like a very cool looking lure. I'm not sure what lure you're referring to. I think you're looking at the lure that looks just like the lure you were using, because that's why I picked that lure out, June T. Um, does it promote religion? We don't promote anything but, fishing. Um, we promote self-help, mental health. Um, so as part of that, we don't talk about religion too much. We sometimes get into faith. But yeah, we're a fishing channel, and we definitely spend a good bit of time on mental health and taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. That's kind of like a big thing, big belief of mine. Self-help, making sure, you can be a little bit selfish. It's okay to be a little bit selfish because you got to take care of yourself first or you can't help nobody. But no, I don't get up here and preach. I don't find it does any good. Not really a religious person, be honest with you, and I'm not afraid to tell y'all because some of my best friends are extremely religious. My uncle's a Lutheran minister. Got no problem with religion. I just don't discuss it. Yeah. Staying and listening. Really? Dirt church, right, Cap? Yeah. Uh, Sucks getting old, buddy. Dude, me and Mike are falling apart. But Mike, you know what? Mike bounced back from his injury. What kind of dad? That's a cool question, TLC. My dad was a hardworking person, did lots of outdoors. Uh, Usually the time we spent together was fishing or hunting with my older brother. He'd get home from work. He had to work down in the city. So his whole life was working, driving to work, coming home, hour driving home from work. Come home, we'd throw all our gear in the pickup truck, rush over to the creek for the last couple minutes of daylight, trout fish, clean the trout in the laundry room, shoot scales all over the wall, make my mom mad, hand the fish to my mom, tell her to cook it. She'd cook it. That was pretty much what we did growing up. Did the Yeah, that's right. We do have a CIA cat in this house. Tried to take me out last night. I watched the movie Red last night. I'm not a big TV person or movie person, but the holidays or whatever, I think it's called Red. It's like a CIA movie. But I'm convinced that that was a CIA move. Cat tried to take me out. I'm joking, YouTube. Don't shut me down. Hey, Ace is in the house. Happy New Year, buddy. Happy New Year. My favorite style of fly casting is called inflatable flailing arm Carlot man. Very graceful. Yeah, there's a lot. Like when you start fishing for like finicky trout fly fishing, that's where it's like you really have to be careful not to slap the water around. And it all matters. Like having the right tippet, which is that last piece of line, it'll go from like 8 pound to 6 pound to 2 pound to like 1 pound. And that's what allows your cast to lay the fly out. So you're not like, so the fly's not here and it looks like somebody threw like a handful of rope around it. Like all that's going to scare the fish away when they're picky, like some wilds are. So that's where you basically want just that tippet, like 1 or 2 pound or 3 pound, whatever you're using, whatever tippet you're using. And you want just that last piece to lay out in the water. And you want to be able to make sure it's drifting naturally. That's the other battle with fly fishing. I could do hours on fly fishing. Again, I try to keep it as simple as possible because I don't want to scare everybody away from fly fishing. It's not hard. I'm embarrassing my Broncos yesterday. I know where you are in Pennsylvania. John, I saw you in here before. Let me get you a wrench. I'm not a huge Eagles fan or football fan. uh, I'll watch them if they're on. Bass, great lure, small weighted streamer. If you are catching sunfish when fly fishing, you need to call it the Bream Rising to my subtle presentation. Yeah, it sounds good. I'm trying not to read Brad's comments because he always makes me laugh. And if you guys missed it, 2025 came in pretty hard for me. I fell down the steps last night and broke a rib. So that's not the way I envisioned the new year kicking off for me, but oh well. I actually feel a lot better than I thought I was gonna. Can you practice on still water? Oh, you can. I was going to say absolutely. You can practice on still water, and you should find a little. Oh, like find a little lake that's got sunfish or crappie. Crappie are awesome on flies. You can slam even huge crappie on little tiny flies. Perch too, but the perch are at the bottom. Um, and another way, if you want to just kind of get into the flies without the whole fly rod part, I fish flies a lot under just a little tiny bobber. I can show you any of this if you want to see it. Just let me know, or else I'll be walking around the building all night. But yeah, I fish them under a little tiny trout bobber down to a fly. If the fly's not really sinking and you're not sure if it's a dry fly or whatever, just put a little split shot a few inches above it. It'll get it down there and you'll catch fish. Woolly buggers are some of the best flies. If you don't know what to get a woolly bugger. It looks like nothing and everything. Woolly buggers are probably the best thing to go. Absolutely, Mike. That's what I was brought up using. Just use a woolly bugger. What's the other? There's a whole. You can get really into it. I don't know where my book is. I didn't bring it down with me tonight. Yeah, you can get all into it. But you can, like, I got a book that tells me every creek in Pennsylvania and what's hatching when. And you got bugs that they're eating on the bottom. And you got to remember, like, they're only eating dry flies when the flies are hatching. Then you got to know what fly it is and all that crap. More times than not, they're eating things at the bottom, like little scuds. So anything that, like a hair ear nymph, is that a hair ear nymph? I don't know if I'm saying that right. But it's a pretty popular larva. My wife's a chemist. She's a scientist. She's gonna come down. She studied macroinvertebrates and microinvertebrates. She's gonna come down and tell me I'm saying the wrong thing. But some little fish thing or fly thing that floats along the bottom is the majority of what they eat. Scuds and things like that. But there's nothing more fun than like catch them on dries at the top, watching them splash. And I would start with sunfish if you got them. Whatever the easiest fish to catch, start with them because you're going to learn all about mending the line and casting, and that's the hardest part. Hey, Kevin, let me wrench you up, buddy. I've seen you around. Appreciate you coming over here. Whoops, almost timed you out instead. Whoops. Oh, no, I think I just removed you. No, I didn't. I suck. Add as moderator. I got to slow down and read. There we go. Happy New Year, Kevin. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, man, I thought I was caught up. I'm not even close to being caught up. Slab's back. Hope your premiere went well. If you guys didn't see it, Slab just put out a video. Make sure you guys go back and watch it. I think he was fishing for, was this the striper video? Fly fishing is a technique I never tried. Now I'm thinking of doing it this year. Do you have any recommendations for a beginner like me? I think we just kind of covered it, Golden Fish. It depends on what you're fishing for. They sell some like 5-6 piece travel sets that you can break down real small for the bike. That would be perfect. I've even used cane poles for like bait fishing for to go catch catfish bait. I can probably show you. I'm sure I've got like 10 rods. Check. Half my stuff's out in the shed. I don't really want to reach up there right now with my ribs. But yeah, I would go to Walmart, buy your first one. Don't get an expensive one. How many fly rods over here? I think they're all outside. We have been doing some fly fishing lately. I would go to Walmart, get it cheap. If you're fishing for like 10 to 20 inch fish, maybe like a 5 or 6 weight fly rod, get one that's all ready to go. And then when you got questions, man, just ask me or come and ask somebody. Buy some tippet material. They got everything you need at a price. You don't need anything great to learn the techniques. Don't get me wrong, man. The good stuff is worth the money. I don't got the money, but it's worth the money. Don't let anybody give you like a $600 fly rod because you'll know why it's a $600 fly rod. It feels good. And it's usually like a one freaking piece and you feel every little thing. It casts, it balances, everything's awesome, but it's crazy, you know. It's crazy overkill to go catch a 5-inch fish and release. Yeah, fly fishing for bluegills. I fish a creek by me where the red breast sunfish get pretty big. Oh my gosh, man. I it feels just like a trout. You can't tell the difference if it's that or a trout when they slam it. Um, my dad is still around and he's getting older, hard to get around. But yeah, that's one TLC. That's why we started the channel, especially the Q&As. So I love that you're asking that question. I start these Q&As with why we do them. And why I tell people it's because I was brought up from an outdoors family to do fishing and hunting. And especially during COVID, we met a lot of people who were getting into the outdoors that never knew anything about it. They didn't have parents that fished or hunted. And they didn't understand the etiquette. They didn't understand what they were doing, how to do it. The desire was there. So that's kind of why we started this channel, was to be well, not necessarily just the channel, but more the Q&As, the specific. It used to be Tuesday night. If you're looking through my old stuff, you'll see Tuesday night tips for my first lives, and Tuesday night tips, and there's a couple names for it, but it's the same setup. I'm in my basement talking about fishing. I fish live every day, but these are specifically set up so that people can come in and ask those type questions. And we can bring them up to speed. And like I said, it's not just me. We have a whole community of people who are good at different species or whatever. And us together as a community, we can answer almost any questions that are thrown our way. Penn State. My best friend's a Penn State grad, so yeah, I guess you can blame me on that one. I had some a few days ago on the river. Let's do 50 times 35. Yeah, well, yeah, we got a lot of fog from that transition. Like anywhere where there's water or even swamp has been cold and frozen for a while. And now we got these 50-degree temps. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of fog from that stuff. Oh, I'm way behind. The mass hysteria. You're talking about all the Slab, welcome in again. Good to see you for the first time again. Welcome back. Glad you're new here. Still eating sauerkraut and pork. Good Lord. Just don't give any to Skeeter. Strong immune system. Mike, you've seen us. You've seen the way we eat, man. We'll be throwing chicken liver out there and then eating a bologna sandwich next. Red. I don't know what are you talking about, red. I know I'm so far behind. If we're talking about woolly buggers, I always use like a black brown with the little red dot on the, I guess the tail or whatever it's supposed to be. They were killer. Georgia Times hanging out. Mama Cookie, good evening, good evening. Steve said, I caught a trout on my third cast for the first time I ever tried fly fishing. Ever since that, I'm hooked. Yeah, it's like when you do hook a good fish, it's like immediate panic. Most fish I don't put on the reel. I love when I can actually put the fish onto the reel, which basically, when you're bringing the line in, you're just you're basically pulling it like this, right? I'm not going to use any of the terms because I'm going to keep it simple. You're just hand lining in, pulling line in, and you keep this finger like this to keep it tight, and you're pulling in. And then when you hook up, you've got all this line laying in the water, right? So you can't just drop it, or you're giving the fish all that freedom to get off the hook. So what you usually end up doing is still hand lining the fish in like this. Now, if it's a really big fish and he's pulling hard, you can start feeding line carefully out there, keeping a nice bend in the rod, keeping tension on the hook so the hook stays hooked. And then when you get the line back on the reel, you can actually use the reel and the drag system, and that's really cool. But man, I hardly get to do that, honestly. I usually just hand line that little joker in. Slab says, I'm new here and also live in Pennsylvania, but I don't fish trout because I've graduated that class. Get out of here. So Slab's a huge trout hater. You know, he was done with my channel until I started catching yellow perch, and then he got all excited, and now he's showing up again. He's just a big old trout hater. Slab's awesome. I'm just joking. Good night, Danny. Bob might have to block you if you keep trying to come in. Yeah, for your own good, man. We're gonna block you for your own good. There is Tammy, Mom and Son's train rail fans. I was chatting about you earlier. Stopping in before bed. Hope everyone had a great day. Yeah, I had a pretty good day, Tammy. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, I don't know if you heard what happened last night, but I took a fall down the steps last night. But I'm good today. I feel pretty good, and I think I'll be operable for the morning. Brad, honestly, pal, you have a great presentation tonight in regards to fly fishing. Explained very cleanly why I can't be bothered doing it. Hey, there's Fish Head Videos, the two channels that I'm going to be seeing soon. Driving south in February and planning and hoping to meet both Tammy from Mom and Sons and Fish Head Videos. Good to see you guys. Mop flies are good too. Yeah, mop flies are one of the things that I use on a spinning rod often under a bobber. Mop fly with a small hook is awesome. I have some fly fishing videos out there where I've limited out and then some really quickly and easily. Awesome. Zebra midges right now, the only hatch. If you see a hatch going on in Pennsylvania right now, it's midges. So yeah, zebra midges, they're hatching. I've seen some stone flies hanging on railings and all that crap. So I think they're around too on some of these warmer days. But other than that, man, I was fishing. I don't want to blow out my spot, but I was fishing some local wild browns. A lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. You see the shorts I'm pumping out, but they're eating midges there for sure. So I did try throwing a midge over there, but did not. So I had to go get my trout magnet and cheat and catch them on the trout magnet. Helger mites are always awesome. Helger mites are great. Hare's ear nymph, that's the thing I was trying to think of earlier. I'm probably so far behind, but yeah, hare's ear nymph is probably my go-to, honestly. I've had a lot of success, especially through the dead of winter when it's like 10 degrees. I've pulled a lot of wilds out of PA and some of the delayed harvest streams on those. I find like they eat them. I think they kind of look like a scud. And if you go digging in the leaves this time of year with a net and you look at it, it's loaded with those little scuds. It looks just like those, I think. Ooh, here's a good conversation. I argue there is nothing more fun than a pike or bass hammering a buzzbait or jerkbait. I argue there is nothing more fun than a pike or bass hammering a buzzbait. I'm a buzzbait guy. That is my go-to topwater bait for bass. And my heart does kind of stop every single time it gets slammed. I would take buzzbait over jerkbait. Though, you want to get confrontational, Brad. Some of my best fishing memories, and I'm going to throw all credibility out the window saying this, but I don't care because it's the truth. Banjo minnow is overrated, underrated. Banjo minnow used to be an actual legit bait, man. The whole setup with the head screwing in, I'm telling you, 3 twitches and a jerk. Bring up the slack. 3 twitches and a jerk. Letting it fall to the bottom on that 4th jerk. With light pickerel up and pike. I took that thing to Alaska with me just to mess with people and show, that it could catch 40-inch pike left and right. They demolished that bait. But ever since then, all the new ones, they don't handle like I'm talking 35 years ago or whenever they came out. I feel like the material was more like pliable. The reaction was better. I tried some newer ones and it's crap. But that early batch, I even took it over to the skipback and I was catching smallies left and right on that stuff. Greeny Weenie is awesome. You just have to make sure it's the right size. You know, there's a lot of different sizes and flies, and it makes a huge difference. I mean, you guys know I got a lot of flies laying around here. You know where I'm going with this, but it's important when you're fishing delicate settings, right? You're fishing for wild trout. It can't be a real thick hook, and I don't know the gauges. I wish I did, but I know to look at it. So if somebody's tying up flies, make sure the hook is thin enough that you're going to be able to set it with 2-pound fluoro. Like you can't have 12-pound fluoro and a steelhead hook to drive through a little nymph on a trout magnet or on a trout's lip. So you got to have the right gauge hook. So make sure you get good quality flies, or it's really frustrating. But yeah, as a pattern, the Greeny Weenie is hard to beat for sure. Happy New Year, Ray. Hope you guys had a good New Year's. Nice little man cave. Yeah, I love my man cave. Worked hard on it down here. It's we call it the fishing bar. Please learn to walk because we enjoy your videos. I was taken out, man. I'm telling you. I was taken out. Let's see. Have a great evening. I'm poor, so Mike Shakespeare is my go-to. Trout magnet jigs and crappy magnet jigs and live bait when possible, or 1-inch gulp minnows. All good stuff, man. You're not, as much as I want to criticize you, I can't. It stinks. I wish you'd say something dumb so I could. Q&A, tackle talk. Yeah, man. The tackle talks are great, man. Like, I love fishing. I feel weird doing lives if I'm not fishing. But it's so hard to answer questions and have the time to spend with people. What do you think about Fuji rod? I don't even know what a Fuji rod is. Is it the same? I used to race. Fuji was one of my bike sponsors at one time. Let me look up a Fuji rod. Fuji rod. I'll bet you it is. Baitcaster, Fuji. Yeah, I don't personally, I haven't used Fuji. I'll tell you this, and I'll let somebody take an answer that might know Fuji. There's nothing wrong with all that expensive. Like, I don't even know if they're expensive, but when it gets into like quality, I would just say it's more important to understand how to fish. It's more important to understand the drag, how to adjust it, when to adjust it, the type of line, the fact that certain lines are more prone to abrasion. Some lines float more, some sink faster, all that stuff. I caught my huge striper. I forget how big it was. It was over 50. I think it was 50. I think we're going to say 51 because the tape looks like 51, but the fish was like all curled and bent. It was clearly bigger than 51, but 51-inch striper is awesome. I caught that on a $25 combo. I caught a 50-pound flathead on a $25 combo. I guarantee you, not to be cocky, but I guarantee you an average person wouldn't have landed either of those fish. And I'm a pretty slow learner, but I fish a lot. And I've lost a lot of nice fish. But on those two occurrences, everything went right. And I knew when to open up that bail and let them take line. And that fish, that 51-inch striper, if you go back and look at that video, it had us down to the knot. Like literally to the knot. So it was easy to lose that fish too. But obviously, I had to get line back on the reel any way I could and then run at the fish. So all those things, my point, I guess, is it's more important. Getting a really expensive rod is not going to make you a better fisherman. It might help dial in your game, but learn all the, the techniques. I'm going to check out, since I've got my computer up, some of you guys that are in here that I haven't seen before, I want to bring up so I kind of know who you guys are. Let me mute this. It's so hard to find people though when they're. Might not be able to find you. Well, if I see you guys in, I'll wrench you up soon for sure. I grew up surrounded by water and woods. Water. Can you guess what I did for the first 18 years in northern Minnesota? I gathered was trout fishing. Can you guess what I did for the first 18 years? Probably played in creeks. Rude. That was the perfect demonstration. You got me excited like there was a fish on the end of. Get out of here, Steve. Don't make me laugh. You're gonna hurt my ribs, man. My Advil is worn off. It is definitely time for some more pain meds. If it swims, I will fish for it. I am the same way, Mike. We will pass up. You know the saying, "Don't leave fish to find fish." We'll find fish, and more times than not, we'll fish somewhere else the next day because it's like as awesome it is as finding fish. It's almost more fun to find fish than to catch them. Like locating them, catching a couple, knowing you're on them was kind of what I did as a fishing guide for years. If I found a fish, I'd catch a couple and then I'd just stop, pin the spot, write it in the log, and that was it. If I had a guest coming in, I'd make sure that place was producing and I'd let them catch them. So that's still kind of, I don't know, that I've caught it, like I tell you, I've caught enough fish. I've caught enough fish. I'd rather watch somebody else catch it or teach someone else to catch it or hang out and, teach. Every once in a while, somebody comments on a video. It makes me think I'm not talking to a wall. Sometimes you think you're just talking to a wall out there. I don't know if I like them or not, Bouncer. I haven't trout fished or eaten trout in a year. Julie, they're fine. They're fine. Don't listen to him. He's like a fish snob. He thinks his perch and crappie are really good. Hey, Jonathan, welcome in, buddy. Hope you're doing good. Let me wrench you up so you can connect around. I know you're a good dude. Hope you're doing good. I saw you around. I pay attention. Luke, Enrico, Aussie, Luke Falzone, Burko are the main two. Sandy Toes is awesome. Hey, we got Kanye West in here. How about that, man? Kanye West, welcome in, bud. How do you like the flat rim? Look good? Welcome in, buddy. We got a lot of famous people in here. Sampy, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you. Brad says, all things country says, for me personally, it's that anticipation of seeing your buzzbait cross lily pads, knowing you could get that massive strike at any second. And yeah, man, I can't believe you're agreeing with me on the banjo minnows. We could do a whole, I'll bet you we get a whole new crowd in here if I baited them with banjo minnow talk. Catching a 36-inch pike or 26-inch pickerel on a little trout magnet tipped with a gulp minnow or live minnow is priceless. It's fun. It's fun. Is that where I saw you in Thunderstruck? I won't hold that against you, Jonathan. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Justin's awesome, man. Baby Slab caught a 21-inch pickerel on a crappie magnet on Sunday. No leader. So that's another theory I have. I haven't researched it enough. But I've caught a lot of pickerel. Nothing big, but I've caught a lot of pickerel on like 4-pound line. And I rarely break off on it. And what I catch on like 6 or 8 pound, like mono or fluoro, I break them off more on that. My theory is the thin line goes between their teeth like dental floss and you're like down on the gums. I don't know if it's true or not. It just seems like it's weird that I break off more on 8-pound line than I do 2 or 4 when fighting Pennsylvania pickerel. Um, yeah, we're not, Jonathan, we don't talk what happens in other channels on here. Send the message directly to somebody, but we don't bring in outside nonsense into other people's channels, and I don't want it brought in here. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I'll give you another chance, and on the end of that, I'm gonna kick you out, bro. You're gonna make plenty of new friends. If somebody's done you wrong, don't worry about it, man. Stay positive. Come in here. Be cool. You're gonna walk away with plenty more friends. All right? Don't worry about it. It happens. We'll take it personally. There's always great channels. Exactly. Um, yeah. Jonathan, we got like 3 rules here. Be nice is one of them. It's like kindergarten. You got to be nice or you're out. Some people weren't nice. They're gone. No bullying. You're safe here, bro. Just be cool. All right. Keep it positive. Positive vibes in 2025, as Skeeter says. Um, Steve says if you invest in an average fishing rod, you should maybe think about upgrading the line. Exactly. The line sometimes, all that stuff makes a huge difference. Are you using the right line? Fluoro, mono, braid, all that stuff. Are your knots good? You start putting all these leaders, you get all nerdy. I always say nerdy. There's nothing wrong with this stuff and it works. But people get distracted by bling, man, whether it's the lure or expensive, and they forget the basics. Like, oh yeah, that's a nice setup, but that's 6 knots and your knots suck. So guess what? You ain't getting that fish in. Don't care what kind of line you got on, your knot's gonna fail. So all that stuff, man. Worry about that. Um, yeah, I'm behind in chat. I'm trying to get catch up. I'm trying to get caught up. Fish with Steve, you can pull in anything on half decent pole with good line. Yep, yep. Um, yep. I'm sure you probably already heard what I said and you're cool. But yeah, just leave it out of this channel. Yo, there you go. Jonathan, brother, with the $1. I appreciate you. We're big on mental health here, buddy. I don't get into too much personal stuff unless, my members all know the deal with my personal family and why I'm like I am, but I go out of my way to protect people that are in my chat and what happens on my channel. I was thinking the same thing, Steve, the Diddy party. Fish with the banjo, dude. I love something like the helicopter lure. I was a sucker for that stuff. The Friday or the Sunday shows like Jimmy Houston. Who were the trio, man? Bill Dance. Who was the other dude? But yeah, I was a Bill Dance guy. But I'd watch all those guys and all these stupid lures that they promoted, and they all kind of worked, but it was a big sales pitch. But it was, I don't know. I guess we were just dumber back then because people think everything's changed and it's all crap now and everything's fake media. It always was. We're just wiser now, I think. Kind of tight. Yeah, Smalley's love banjo minnow. In the rocks. Yeah. It's cool, Jonathan. It's cool, man. Dude, social media is a hard place to go, man. You don't know what you're walking into. So kudos for you to, being out there hanging tough. But yeah, you're safe here. Just whatever happens, we don't talk about other people regardless. I'm not saying they're innocent or guilty. I don't got the time to worry about it. We're going to be positive. And whatever that person did to you, it ain't worth your time. It ain't worth your time worrying about it, man. Like that's like bullying. When you get bullied, you worry about somebody else and what they said. Best thing you can do, man, is just don't even care about it. Don't even care about it. Make new friends and let that crap roll off your shoulder. It'll drive them nuts. 8-pound Berkling Trilene is the only line of regular fishing rods, 12-pound monster fish. I know you're a big Trilene guy. Big Trilene guy. Bouncer's really set in his ways, man. Doesn't like fish, only likes crappie. Trilene mine. I like Randy Travis and Toby Keith. I think Toby Keith just died, right? Last year. Seems like it happened years ago, but I think that was beginning of 2024. Roland Martin was the helicopter lure salesman. I remember him like casting it under the dock and it would go backwards. My dad was a big helicopter lure fan. I never really liked it. I was feeling good about myself and my appearance yesterday, Bob. Then you called me Kenny Rogers. Yo, what's Kenny Rogers? Kenny Rogers is awesome, man. That is a huge compliment. The Silver Fox. That's my mom's. That was my first concert I ever went to. Kenny Rogers and Lee Greenwood. My second is Dolly Parton, I think. But Kenny Rogers, I don't know how many times my parents have seen him. My mom loves Kenny Rogers. Hurting for Sturgeon, what's going on? Good to see you. Man, what time is it? I'm getting... Roland Martin was the dude. Bill Dance, Roland Martin. I don't know who I forgot. I feel like I left one of them out. Well, the words are wrong. You're right. Bill Dance, that song, man. The intro to his video every weekend. And it's funny. I'm not a big fan on YouTube intros. There's a few people that have them and it works. But for the most part, and I do a lot of intros, but they're different each video. I like just getting right into the app, reconnecting. How can I be reconnecting in my own house? For the most part, I just like diving in. But back then, man, the intro to that was just awesome. Banjo minnows were popular for walleye in Minnesota. My favorite was the glass test tube with a live minnow bait was safe. Are you kidding me? Is that something real? Somebody was asking about this. I'm going to go show you. Talking about stupid purchases. Oh, my ribs. Definitely time for some pain meds. So it looks like it's a mess in here, and it is. But this is literally all my fishing crap. So we're always organizing stuff and playing with stuff. And yeah, here's one of these purchases. You like this? Who's got one of those? I've brought in carp with that. It was one of my goals as a 12-year-old to catch a shark on that. I also have a yo-yo for hand lining. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I screwed up. Now I gotta figure out how I had this thing hanging. All right. I screwed that up. That's gonna... I also have the old chillin' reel beer holder koozie for hand lining fish. So I am prone to some of those investment gimmicks, but if somebody can put the time in, you know what? Oh. Let me see what time it is. Oh, it's 8:30. I got to wrap this up in a few minutes, guys. Sorry for that pain face, but I do have broken ribs, and I just plopped in there like a dummy. Yeah, I got to find out more about those test tube live minnows. I feel like I knew something about it, and it was like a dream. I don't think so, chosen one. I have broken ribs, and I just sat down is what happened. And my painkillers have definitely worn off. Went fishing one time and a turtle snapped my fishing line. Hey, it's better a turtle snap your line than snap your finger off. We've caught a fair amount of snapping turtles on this channel, unfortunately or fortunately. It comes with the territory. When you're carp fishing and cat fishing, you're just as likely to catch a huge turtle in the summertime around here as you are to a carp or a catfish. I'm going to wrap this thing up. I will get caught up as best I can. So sorry if you're just coming in here and I'm blowing by you here. Yeah, Ron Papil, pocket fisherman. Awesome, awesome. Raptor Will. I tinker with my fishing gear all the time. Kevin's big into it. Yeah, we got a lot of gear just out and about because it's tough. You might not realize that some of you guys do what I do, but when you fish every single day and you're live and you're multi-species, you're constantly like re-spooling, re-rigging, stealing a combo, like a reel off of one thing, putting it with a rod on another because you want to fish a different technique. And like tomorrow, I'm wanting to cast 50 feet for trout, which is weird. It's really far. And I want a delicate presentation. So I need a bigger rod and a bigger weight. So I'm using a different rod than I typically use. So yeah, you end up with a mess. But that's what you got to do. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate that. Getting stuff ready for my trip. Awesome. For keeper sturgeon, how big? What's the rules for keeping sturgeon out there? I don't know if I even knew you were legally allowed to keep them, but I guess they're kind of, I guess they're not special everywhere, right? Dad noises, yeah. I'll tell you in a few years. They are real glass tubes with a fishing line through them and a treble hook opening. That's crazy. Over in Portland. Jose still hanging out. Tom Cat Josh says I'm in Redmond. It is organized chaos. So I'll have like a yellow 5-gallon kitty litter bucket. And trust me, it's all garbage in there. Half the stuff's going to be trashed, but it's all catfish stuff. I got another big white bucket over there. It's all my saltwater gear. All that stuff's got to be cleaned, washed, lubed up, or whatever you need to do with some of this stuff to get the salt off of it. Because I don't want to put it away like that. It'll end up rotting everything out. So yeah, everything goes through a cleaning process and then gets organized before it goes back on the shelf. I do want to make my whole basement into like a legit tackle shop. That's kind of one of my things that I'm going to do here. Retention slots open today in Boonville Dam. So anything between 47 and 54 you can keep. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's a very rare and early lure. That's awesome. Wow, we had 71 thumbs up, 17 people hanging out. I would love to just stay live and hang out, but like we talk about mental health, I got to get to sleep. I got to get some rest. I got to hang out with the family. They're going back to school tomorrow. So, yeah, I want to shut this thing down and get upstairs, hang out a little bit. My buddies are going for keeper size, allowed 2 annually per person. I just catch and release, but always go for a monster oversize personally. Yeah, that's awesome. Tackle shop, I thought you were flooding your basement and releasing trout. It depends on the storm. We could do both, Brad. We can do both. I got mine today. Right here, Slab. Right here, Mentored Youth Day. So don't even bother going out because on Mentored Youth Day, when Travis and I get out there with their combined 33 kids, we're going to catch every single trout so no grown adult man has any trout to catch. That's what we're going to do. Get out of here, Bob. Family time in, bud. I will do that. I will see you guys live. I didn't put the thumbnail out, but we'll be live tomorrow. I'll be live. Kids will be back in school. But we'll give it a shot. It's going to be windy as heck, so it's going to be brutal. Slab just renewed my license today, 165. I paid $45 for 1 year. My Advil wore off. Don't make me laugh. Travis Yoder, the only Amish website designer I know. It is funny when you think about it, right? You know what? He's got the market cornered, though. He does. He might be on to something. All right, Rose, Georgia Times. I appreciate you all. We'll do this again. It's hard to do these with my work schedule, my night times, but I answer as many questions as I can during the day too. I just am more distracted, so we'll do these Q&As whenever I have time at night to do them. So we'll catch you on the next one. Jonathan, welcome to the team. Appreciate you. Y'all have a great night. You just catch them all. You will preserve the rest of us. All right, guys, have a good night. We'll catch you on the next one. Smell you later.